And welcome into another edition of Celtics Spotlight here on the Carlow Sports Network. I'm Sean Meyers, joined by a sophomore on the women's volleyball team for the Celtics, Claire Yezovich. Claire, how's your afternoon going?
It's going good. How about you?
I'm doing as well as I possibly can. Let's talk about your season to this point. How have you evaluated your play so far here in 2021?
So far this season, I feel like I've grown and I made many great strides as a defensive player. In recent weeks, they've moved me to only playing back row, which has been a pretty big transition for me considering that I played both front row and back row in 8th grade. I do miss hitting, and my overall goal was to eventually hopefully play again outside hitter and back row. But of course, if my coaches think I benefit my team the most by playing back row, then I am more than happy to take on that role. But after the season, I plan on working on all three of those aspects of my game.
We talk about what you want to work on. Go back to when you started at Carlow last year as a freshman. Where have you seen the biggest area of growth in your game?
I think some of my biggest improvements is definitely, again, defense. I feel like especially this year, I'm starting to grow in reading the hitters better and staying low and not back on my heels.
So certainly you have faced challenges that pretty much all student athletes have faced over the last couple of years. That's playing during a pandemic. And so far, as a sophomore, both of your seasons have taken place during the era of COVID. What have been some of the biggest challenges with that?
Some of the biggest challenges was not having fans and then having to wear a mask during practices or sometimes during games. And also maybe risking getting sick or my family members getting sick.
Well, hopefully you continue to stay healthy, everyone around you as well. Hopefully best of health for them. When you look at this season, what goals did you set for the team and for yourself?
So as a team, some of our goals included to have strong communication, to give our 100% and make every moment count. And another one that we had was to also have high energy, consistent energy throughout the whole game. And some goals of mine personally, skill-wise, was to focus on being consistent more with my hitting, and some other things include staying low again for defense and not going back on my heels.
You have the opportunity to play alongside your sister, Jenna, a senior on the team and one of the captains. So how do you two get along both on the court and off the court?
I think we get along pretty well now that we're older. I mean, in high school we've had some moments, but we definitely get along very well right now. And I'm just very close with her. And so with this season ending, I'm really going to miss playing with her because it's always a fun thing to play with your sister. And I just admire her for her great leadership and her hard work.
Now, she's your older sister, but she's not your only sibling by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. You are the youngest of 12 siblings in your family. So what were some of the pros of that and maybe some of the cons that also came with being the youngest?
Some pros of having a big family is definitely having a strong support system. I always have someone to talk to. So I think that's definitely a pro with a big family. And then some cons include we grew up in a small house with only one bathroom and 3 bedrooms. So we all had to share rooms, and getting ready on time for school was definitely difficult sometimes.
Now, I know you said you sort of transitioned a little bit more to the back row, but I've seen you plenty of times put away points with some kills or even some blocks at the net. So do you kind of have a trademark, or does the team have a trademark celebration after some of those points?
I don't really have a particular celebration, but I definitely do get excited or intense when someone on my team or myself scores a point. And also during the rallies or after the rally, it's important that we all come together as a team.
Do you scream at all?
Sometimes.
Okay. When you really get into it. So go back a couple years. What led to your decision to come to Carlow University?
So it actually took me a while to decide where I wanted to go, but something that stuck out to me was just how welcoming everyone was because I did attend a practice before going there, and I just remember having a really good connection with Haley, who is our senior this year. It was like really fun peppering with her and all, and I thought it's really cool that Jay and Megan were also attending, who I played with on my club volleyball team.
What is your major? What would be an ideal future profession for you?
I'm currently undecided still with my major. I've thought about a couple of things such as business or early education. What else? I've also thought about physical therapy, but I definitely want to do something that helps others and benefits society.
What has been your most enjoyable college class so far in your time at Carlow?
My most enjoyable has to be, I think, my special ed class. At the end of the semester, we did a fundraiser for children in Uganda, which I really enjoyed taking part in.
You attended a very well-known high school, Woodland Hills, Woody High as it's affectionately known. What was your fondest memory from your time there?
I don't have like an exact memory, but I've made really good friends and the teachers were always so helpful. But something that really does stick out to me was my sports. I went into my freshman year with our team only winning maybe one or two games. And whenever I was in my senior year playing, we got our team into playoffs.
And you were a big football fan at Woodland Hills as well, I'm guessing, with your family growing up?
Yeah. Since I was a baby, I was at every single game.
I just made my first trip to broadcast a game at the Wolverine. I was very excited to do that. So I'm sure you have like about 18 years of a head start on me in that regard, I guess. So. What is your favorite social media app?
I'm not very active on social media, but my favorite app has to be Snapchat.
Gotcha. Do you post a lot of stories on Snapchat?
Not really. Every
Okay.
once in a while.
Okay, same here. If you could meet anyone, past or present, in the entire world, who would you choose?
I would say either my grandma and grandfather because unfortunately they passed away before I was born. So it'd be great to meet them.
Lastly, what is your favorite vacation spot or a place that you've always wanted to go to?
A place I want to go to is Croatia because I actually am Croatian and I heard that they have beautiful beaches. So,
Has any of your siblings been there?
no, my sister plans on it this coming summer. She plans on going to Croatia.
By herself? She's not going to take the other 11 with her?
No, she's getting married, so she'll be going with her fiance
Gotcha.
for their honeymoon.
Well, Claire, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the season.
Of course, thank you for having me.
That's Claire Yezovich, a sophomore for the Celtics volleyball team, right here on the Celtics Spotlight.